Talk about the contrast between the Trump ambassadors and the Biden ambassadors.
Yes. Well, and I didn't know how different it really is until I started reading OIG reports. These are public-facing reports that the State Department puts out about their ambassadors. It basically grades their performance if they look at the front office. And reading those, you can see, and my team verified, and that most of them are Democrats, that Democrat administrations are much more chaotic than Republican administrations, and the ambassadors don't often come from the private sector, and they lack the skills to lead an embassy. And so, as a matter of fact, the Trump ambassadors had huge successes at post, and we really were able to counter China in a strong way. And if not for Joe Biden saying to Putin, I'm not going to sanction Nord Stream 2, the Russian gas pipeline, not saying from the podium a minor incursion into Ukraine, we're not going to pay any attention to that. If he hadn't said those things and had his disastrous Afghanistan withdrawal, I do not believe that Russia would have invaded Ukraine. And certainly, if President Trump was in office, he would not have dared to invade.
Well, we hear all the time in the fake media that America was less respected under President Trump. And I guess it depends on how you define respect. But what would be your answer? What do foreign nations think of America under President Trump and then now under President Biden?
It's a great question. So, Kevin, under President Trump, NATO received almost $400 billion new dollars from our NATO allies that they were slow paying. They would rather pay for more kindergartens and free healthcare and free college for their citizens and let the United States taxpayers pay for their defense. Literally, these are rich countries. This is not post-World War II. These are rich peer countries. And so President Trump got the NATO allies to step up in a big way. They're still not doing enough, but they're doing more. Under President Biden, I would compare it to Obama's leading from behind. We look weak on the world stage, and so you can see Xi saber rattling, threatening Taiwan. You see Kim Jong-un in North Korea ramping up, telling his we're going to make more missiles and militarize quicker. And you can see China now having a bigger navy than we do. This is unacceptable. We have chaos around the world because of President Biden being in the White House. President Trump did what President Reagan recommended, leading peace through strength.
Oh, no question. I believe that wholeheartedly. And it's the point is not to be the most loved. The point is not to be the most feared. The point is to be the most respected. And what I hear you say is we were more respected under President Trump than we are under President Biden, and probably more than we were under President Obama.
Yes, I think that our European allies, who are most close to us, right, as far as their laws and sort of their societies, actually mostly hate Republican presidents and love Democrat presidents, not understanding that the weakness of these Democrat presidents could lead to the downfall of Western society. Our civilization right now is on an anti-human deindustrialization pathway led in Europe, but we're following closely behind. This is the most dangerous time in my lifetime, and perhaps since the Civil War for our nation.
Here's a $10 bill. It's got the picture of Alexander Hamilton on the front of it. You know, it's kind of sad. When I was 10 years old, everything that I could buy for $1 now costs about $10. That's the cost of inflation. It's just paper. It's not backed by anything. You can't exchange it for gold and silver. You used to, but you can't do that anymore. And that's unfortunate. You know, pirates wouldn't accept this. Pirates, they wanted gold and silver. Patriots, the founders of this nation, also wanted gold and silver coin. In fact, they put a provision in the Constitution, 17 words, that said states could only make gold and silver coins tender within the states. That's why I wrote this new book, Pirate Money, Discovering the Founders' Hidden Plan for Economic Justice and Defeating the Great Reset. It will explain exactly the history of money and exactly why gold and silver coins can be made modern with new technology and a useful monetary system. PirateMoneyBook.com.